Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. For information on fire recovery resources, recovery hubs, and available services, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles and 311 KBY. Aid distribution locations, repopulation updates, and safety rules are constantly changing. Visit the LA City and LA County websites for the latest. If you'd like to sign up for the county's free debris removal, fill out a right of entry form, or get a list of disaster recovery centers that are still active, please visit recovery.lacounty.gov or call the debris hotline at 844-347-3332. If you're vulnerable to mudslides with rain in the forecast, free sandbags are being offered. Go to lacounty.pw/sandbags to find out where to go. Businesses who have lost their facilities due to the fires can use a regional online search to get free or discounted locations. Whether you're interested in donating or finding stores, you can visit the business-to-business space share portal at spaceshare.lacounty.gov. Additional LA County small business support and programs can be found at opportunity.lacounty.gov. Advocating and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations attacks. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations.
If you need correction, that's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird hands, baby. It's not enough. Few solid left, but it's not enough. Few that'll reach that, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on it. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I make him mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take a G-pad. Watch do it. We survived outside, all from the music. What? Hey, turn this TV off. Ain't with my type activities, then don't you get involved. Hey, what? How many shit I seen? Send them all. Take a risk or take a trip. You know I'm tripping for my dog. Who you with? Couple sergeants and lieutenants for the get back. This revolution been televised. I fell through with the knickknacks. Hey, young, get your chili up. Yeah, I meant that. Hey, black out if they act out. Yeah, I did that. Hey, what's up, though? I hate them. Just hating on them. And they both. I hate them. Hating on them. And they both broke. If you ain't coming for no chili, what you come for? Feel like he entitled cause he knew me since a kid. I cut my granny off and she don't see it how I see it. Got a big mouth but he lack big ideas.
KBLA Talk 1580. Guess who's in the building? He's a comedian. He's an actor. You know him on the Jeff Ross roasts. You know him on Roast Me because he's the roast king.
Hey.
He's also a touring comedian and an accomplished artist in his own right. Kraig Smith, welcome.
God.
Oh,
Hey,
Lord.
Kraig Smith, what's going on, world? Glad to be back.
Right out the box. Here he comes. Look, you have a lot going on, so I appreciate you carving out an hour to hang out with me.
Indeed, anytime. You know how much love I got for you.
Oh, and the feeling is mutual. This is a messy Monday. We call it a messy Monday.
Okay.
And so we usually talk about relationships. Like the last Monday of the month, we do marriage.
Okay.
You know, so we can end on something uplifting and all that. But on Messy Monday, we like to talk about what's going on these streets, and these dating streets, and these relationship streets, and get people's personal philosophies or insights or their commentary, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. And I find that sometimes we've had some great people call. By the way, you're welcome to call in 800-920-1580. On Thursday, we were talking about Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And folks were in their feelings about it.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised to see that some men were in their feelings about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to call and share, 800-920-1580. Do you celebrate Valentine's Day?
Sometimes.
That is so shady.
Yeah.
This right chocolate or go on the right date, that the man is a failure or the woman is a loser because she didn't get anyone to send her flowers at work or blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And I don't like that part of it.
I don't either. I mean, it's commercialism. And I think that a lot of these big commercial companies and brands have figured out a way to control the release of dopamine in the brain. It's just
Wow.
it's just another stimulant, just like coffee, cocaine. It's just a stimulant to get you feeling a certain way, feeling elated. One of the people I blame for this is Edward Bernays, who was a psychologist, and he was the grandson of Charles Darwin. And he's the person that mastered the marketing psychology of making you feel good about purchases. Before him, people didn't associate how they felt as closely as they do now with how they dress, what their hair looks like. People didn't have 50 pairs of jeans and 200 pairs of shoes. People pretty much purchased what they needed. And the average person just dealt with what they needed. Now you got a guy working at Walmart with 500 pairs of Jordans.
Yeah, that's true. And those commercials that, and many times they are connected to your romantic success. Like if you drive this car,
Right.
you're going to get girls. If you wear this perfume, men won't be able to resist you.
Right.
So there's an allure of how we feel, and some of that is connected to the whole romance or sex or combination of all of the above.
What does the Bible call them? False idols.
Oh, false idols.
Indeed.
So, I mean, are you saying feelings are false idols?
Feelings aren't false idols, but emotions validate fantasies. So Valentine's Day.
Are fantasies always bad?
No, fantasies aren't bad, but they are not a good gauge of reality. They're not. They're not.
I know. It just sounded so basic. I mean, it's sad that you have to explain that to me.
But no, it's not sad. I mean,
It's kind of sad.
our imaginations are what make us great, but they can also fail us if there's not enough actions to support whatever the fantasy is. So I think that that's one of the underlying through lines of a holiday like Valentine's Day, is just to kind of be a catalyst to be active in showing someone how much you love them. But it shouldn't be the only thing that you're using to gauge if somebody cares or not.
Right. Agreed. Agreed. But when you talk about fantasy, it's not just Valentine's Day. When it comes to romance
Right.
or sex or love or marriage, but right now we're talking dating and romance, that is probably the hotbed of fantasy. I mean, if there's any section of our life where we are more likely, maybe I should speak for myself, if there's any section of my life where I'm most likely to delude myself,
Right.
it is in terms of romance and relationships, right?
I agree 100%, because a lot of it is someone being willing to validate and help you, help you validate how you feel about yourself through showing you how they feel about you.
Right.
Yep. So a lot of it is, it's a mirror. It's,
Reflect my beauty, my greatness
Indeed.
back to me so I can feel like it's valid.
100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's something really fun about that, but I guess there's also the potential for a lot of terror,
Indeed.
failure. Because delusion, a lot of time when we get into delusion, Ben Frank says, chill with us.
Hey,
A lot of time when we get into delusion, it doesn't end well.
I agree 100%. Yeah, and you can run 1,000,000 miles down that pathway to delusion, because a lot of times we develop cognitive biases and we only accept information that supports and uplifts the delusion. So that's the tough thing about it, is being strong enough to realize when, hey, maybe I'm tripping. Like some people don't have that I'm tripping brake pedal. It's all gas, no brakes with some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a tough
Yeah, or all breaks.
all brake. That's
All breakity break. What are you scared of, homie?
Yeah, trauma.
Trauma.
Yeah, that's a cage all day. Some of us are trapped in trauma.
Well, yeah, and this is clearly a season of delusion. You could see it in politics, you could see it in pop culture, you could see it in the world economy. There's just a lot of strange things going on. Which gets me back to this messy Monday thing. Because part of the fun is being able to just be semi-delusional or, drunk on dopamine or whatever. That's part of the fun.
100%.
So what I want to know, and we'll we'll talk about this when we come forward. Do you have rules? Do you have rules like, what are the things you say, okay, if this happens, there will never be a second date.
Right.
If this happens, there won't be a third date. Or I don't allow myself to do this until this. I feel like women talk a lot about, well, I don't accept this, and you can't take me to whatever it was. What was it? Cheesecake Factory? I won't go to Cheesecake Factory. But we don't talk as much about men's rules, and I know you all have them.
We do.
Yeah, I just don't think they're always spoken out loud. But Kraig, I want you to say the quiet part out loud when we continue.
Okay.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
If they don't have no talent, they'll measure you.
We're the same height.
And offer you a service like they'll better you.
I can do it right.
What I like, you like. But it's not for the likes.
They do it for the answers.
Rhinestones on your pipe. Plotting your fall. Scrolling through your lives. Checking the wall.
So they can meet you to the mall and buy the last pair of drawers.
Put them chickens on rice. Before they lay another egg of bird flu in your life. You know what they do.
KBLA Talk 1580. He's here.
Hey, I'm in the building. Kraig Smith, a.k.a. Chill Withers.
Tell me about what we're hearing.
So that's You Know What They Do. That's a song on an album called Cluster B, Chill Withers Cluster B. It's an album I made about cluster B personality disorders. This song is about narcissistic mirroring as well as triangulation. Sometimes people come into your life and they seem like they're good people and they're interested in building and growing with you, but they're just interested in mirroring what you do and knocking you off so they could become you. And if you're not educated on cluster B personality disorders, when people turn on you, a lot of times it doesn't work because, when somebody who has hate in their heart reveals themselves, they don't necessarily plan past their emotion and plan past their desire and want to be in the spotlight. So once things don't work, this is what this album deals with, the aftermath of, once you recognize the manipulation and the triangulation and the evil that some people want to impart in others' lives. You have to be above it. You got to gray rock it. You got to keep it pushing and keep creating. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to be above it.
Nah, not at all, because sometimes it feels good to punch somebody in the mouth or choke somebody out.
Exactly. Clap back.
Yeah, but it's not the thing to do.
Okay, if you say so.
Indeed.
Because, they say the pen is mightier than the sword. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But if you're me, you're a Gemini, you got good clapback game. It's just like, can I just clobber you? Can I take you out?
Indeed.
But you're right. It's not the way to go. Certainly in our business. And that, the entertainment business, when you work in this space, a lot of times you also end up dating people in this space also. It's a hotbed of those disorders. Borderline personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and the most famous narcissistic personality disorder. How did you get fixated on that?
Well, because exactly what you said. You've been in this business a lot longer than me, so in the 90s they called them haters.
Yeah. We don't call them that anymore.
Yeah, they're not haters. Some of these people are actually sick. And the thing about it that is incredible is that, we've had the misnomer to equate when somebody is sick to not being smart.
Okay.
Some of the most intelligent people are mentally ill in this way, and you won't realize it until you've actually gone through it. Because a lot of people are trying to fill voids, and filling voids is not really the best thing to do. The best thing to do is just create and always be a part of something bigger than self. But when you fill a void, a lot of times you may take energy from one area to fill a void in another, and then you just create another void. And so that's what this album, Cluster B, Chill With Us Cluster B, deals with. And then I have the answer to the album that I'm dropping in a couple months. I'm shooting a special called If I Owe You Something, Get It From God. And that deals with all the moments in life where people expect more from you than they can do for themselves, and that's a get it from God moment. And when you realize that, you got to tell them, if I owe you something, get it from God. God.
Well, so supposedly one of the telltale signs of narcissistic personality disorder is expectation of favor, expectation of praise, and so that tracks with what you're saying. If you're expecting it, get it from God.
Indeed.
Get it from God.
Indeed.
So, okay, we can go a little deeper on that because it's all related. But I asked you, I do want to go a little deeper before we move on because some folks may be not understanding what you're talking about. Explain triangulation.
So triangulation is a tactic. Just think chess when you think about people who suffer from these types of disorders. It's a tactic in which they spread misinformation amongst your peer group in order to control the perception of you. And a lot of times it's done in secret, which is why honesty and openness is something that anyone who is creative and has good intentions should always be willing to do, is be honest and forthright. And they triangulate, and the purpose is to isolate you. Isolation is the playground of the jealous. And so the reason for the isolation is to create an aura or sense of embarrassment, so you won't be as willing to create and do the things that you're good at, because in their minds, they think they can manipulate the situation and take that from you. They think they can consume you by destroying your reputation and step in your place and become the new king or queen of whatever it is you're trying to create.
Yeah, I have a theory about that. In the entertainment business, I think the most dangerous people are the ones that want to be you, kill you, and sleep with you all at the same time, or alternately, like they can't make up their mind. Like one minute they want to be you, the next minute they want to sleep with you, the next minute they want to kill you, or maybe all at once. And it's surprisingly common.
It's textbook too, which is incredible that you bring that up. So when somebody does this, if you just do a little bit of studying, you can actually track the things that they're doing, and it's textbook because it is an illness, like having the flu or a cold. So when somebody starts to triangulate you, that's the first parts of what they call narcissistic mirroring, which is when somebody feels like they can become you, and they do things. They'll do subtle things. They'll walk like you. They'll talk like you. They'll dress like you. They'll contact and try to have sexual relations with ex-girlfriends. They'll reach out to your mother and think they can replace you in that relationship. Their goal is to replace you and become you.
Replace you and become you. A lot of comments here in the YouTube chat. Kwamel says, I need that song, Kraig. Where do I get it? Let's start there.
Okay, easy breezy. So all you got to do is look up Chill Withers. I got fourth album being dropped under that moniker,
like on Spotify or whatever, wherever you get your music, iTunes, whatever.
So you got Chill Withers, the Chill Never Withers, and Chill Withers Cluster B, and then the fourth album in that delineation of albums will be called Chill Withers, The Disrespect, and then after that I'll probably go to a whole nother moniker, probably Adam Clayton Powell Jr. All my albums are named after tough, respectable, light-skinned black men.
Of which there are many.
Of course there is.
Let's see. E.E. Wilson says they're experts at ruining the family. Artist Moore says mental outpatients. And Jerry says, watch out, we're all sick. Are we all a little bit like that?
Indeed. There's a saying by a philosopher, I can't remember who it is, but the saying is that there is no healthy way to integrate into a sick society. So yeah, we all have to be a little bit sick to survive, but the narcissism thing or the cluster B personality thing is a little bit different. It's beyond sick. It's like comparing the flu to cancer.
Okay. One is a terminal illness, and the other one is something that can afflict you occasionally, and you're going to get over it.
And then with the flu, you can take vitamin C, you can go sit in the sauna, you can eat different, you can do things to strengthen your immune system. But, cancer is something that's tissue deep. That's something that, you can't really do much about.
So you're saying, I always feel like everyone is redeemable, everyone is curable. You don't think so?
Nah, not when people have cluster B personality disorders. Maybe they can be taught in certain cases to learn how to deal with it, but a part of being an adult human being is being able to self-regulate. And when you equate your success or elevation to somebody else's destruction, that is somebody that is beyond repair in a normal situation.
Yeah. Okay, this is a really interesting conversation. We're a little veering around, which is fine. But I found that most of those people that want to replace me, I'll speak for myself, don't want to do the work.
No.
They want to replace a fantasy of me. But that fantasy doesn't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day and read all weekend. That's not what that fantasy does. Well, yeah, and when it comes down, like Jim Brown used to say, are you willing to pay the cost to be the boss?
American, Jim Brown, the legend, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. It's his birthday today.
It is? Oh, yeah, wow. Yeah. Yes. Rest in peace to Jim Brown, man. You're a one-of-a-kind individual.
Yeah, no doubt.
I wish I was older to be a part of all that American stuff. I got to watch it from afar, but he's definitely somebody that needs to be talked about more.
Yeah. Well, he was my first customer when I got fired off the Steve Harvey Morning Show. And started my own production company. Jim Brown and J. Anthony Brown, two gentlemen named Brown, were my first customers.
Both legendary.
Both legendary, I know. And it was a beautiful thing. But in any case, this idea that, I'm just going to replace you, it, like you said, they may not have the skill set or they may not be willing to do the work.
Indeed. Well, they feel like they're above the work because a lot of their thoughts come from grandiosity in certain cases. There's hundreds of different types of narcs, but most of them that are in this business have a grandiose sense of self where they feel like they're better than or above everyone, and that's everyone. So yeah, it's very important to pay attention to that. Anybody who feels like they're above the work is somebody you need to look closely at. Okay,
we only got a minute and a half here till news, traffic, and sports. We're going to keep talking on the other side. What's your... I can see that, these cluster Bs are obviously deal breakers for you, but is there something, a warning sign, a behavior pattern a thing people say or do that makes you say, that nope, no second date.
Lack of accountability.
Really?
Yeah, if you're on a date with a woman and she's always talking about what her ex did wrong, or, I look at that in a certain way. I mean, because you, as a woman, you choose who you lay down with, who you have a relationship with, and if everything is about what they did and not what you could have done to make it better, I'll know one day I'll be that guy that you're talking about at dinner with another guy.
I actually really agree with that. I don't want to talk to you about my ex, and I don't want to hear about yours unless, you really need to tell me for some reason. Ben Frank says he's yellow but proud. But that's definitely one of my, I'd call that a red flag. If you constantly complaining about your ex, I don't mind a little information if you feel you need to share, but I don't want to hear a diatribe.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because like you said, I know you're going to be at lunch with somebody talking about me in about a week or so.
Yeah.
We're talking with Kraig Smith. It's a messy Monday. Get in on this. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Severe storms have caused significant damage in Kentucky and the Southeast, resulting in at least 10 deaths. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear confirmed 9 fatalities due to extreme flooding. Additionally, 1 person in Georgia died from a falling tree in Atlanta. The Trump administration is firing over 400 employees at the Department of Homeland Security, mainly from FEMA, cybersecurity, and immigration services as part of sweeping federal cuts and reforms. Secretary of State Marco Rubio urges the immediate release of all hostages held by Hamas despite a ceasefire deal outlining a gradual release. He is working closely with Israel and Hamas released 3 more hostages this weekend after threatening delays over alleged ceasefire violations. And the USDA has conditionally approved a bird flu vaccine for chickens by Zoetis. Millions of chickens have been culled to stop the spread, leading to a spike in egg prices. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
If you or someone you know is affected by the Los Angeles wildfires, you are not alone. No matter how sad, scared, or heartbroken you feel, Cal Hope is here for you and all those affected by the devastating wildfires. Find free, safe, and confidential mental health support at calhope.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron's streak of playing in 20 consecutive NBA All-Star games ended Sunday in San Francisco. LeBron was scheduled to start his 21st straight All-Star game, but he decided to sit this one out because of soreness in his left foot and ankle. LeBron was not sure he would be ready for the Lakers' first game after the All-Star break on Wednesday against Charlotte. The Clippers are back in action Thursday at Milwaukee. There was no letdown Sunday for the USC and UCLA women's basketball teams after their epic battle Thursday night. USC, ranked 6th in the nation, held on for a 69-64 win at Washington. Kiki Iverson led USC with 19 points. Juju Watkins had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Number 1, UCLA got by Michigan State 75-69 without star center Lauren Betts. Betts missed the game with a foot injury. Janiyah Barkin and Tamia Gardner each had 18 points to lead the Bruins. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's KBLA Talk 1580's 3rd annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on Black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring Black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Charmin Ultra Strong. You can use less, better than the rest. Charmin Ultra Strong. strong. Your booty past the clean test. Salmon wave texture, it's the best. Study up, teach a lesson on fresh. Your booty past the clean test. Yes, sir. Charmin Ultra Strong.
Charmin Ultra Strong with diamond weave texture cleans better than the leading one-ply brand, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What you want to do, huh?
KBLA Talk 1580 is thrilled to share that we have been named as a semi-finalist for the coveted American Climate Leadership Awards, honoring our climate work last year. We're also delighted to announce year 2 of our Climate Justice Crusade. This year's $2 million 12-month campaign will link and combat the relationship between climate change and poor health outcomes for African Americans and the poor. Climate inequities have taken a toll with multiple health triggers in the Black community, such as extreme heat and poor air quality, made worse by the recent wildfires. Our work to ensure climate justice and climate equity continues. In the coming weeks and months, you'll be hearing a lot more about our 2025 climate campaign. To learn more about our plans for this year and the companies and organizations supporting us, log on to our website at kbla1580.com. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelty. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelty can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelty?
Just send them a text.
Text BEST to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text BEST to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text BEST to 200-300. That's BEST to 200-300. BEST to 200-300.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio. KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, so I'm over here talking with comedian Kraig Smith. He's on Instagram, on his Instagram, by the way, and they over here roasting him, even as we speak. But you are such an enigma. You really are.
Indeed.
I mean, it's not like, I hang out with you all the time, but you had a show here and we've worked together before. And I say that because on the one hand, you're known for roasting and you're really funny. Indeed. You always have people roasting you on your page. You put up pics and say, roast me, and they do. They do a great job. And then I hear you talking smack on some of your podcasts and things with your boys. I mean, when I hear you guys talking, I'm thinking, maybe this isn't the guy to have on Messy Monday. Maybe it is, because y'all be hella messy.
Oh,
when you're talking about women, you be hella messy.
Well, we're not talking about all women, but, I don't speak in absolutes because that's ignorant. But as a comedian, you have to have a point of view on a topic.
Right.
Like when we went to college, we wrote thesis statements. You got a topic, and then you have to have a debatable claim.
Okay, so that's where I was going with us. On the one hand, you're over here roasting people, talking smack. You guys are hella funny. You guys are like the man cave, the mobile man cave. Indeed. Comedy center. But then, you sit down with this brother, and he's over here breaking down logical fallacies, and he's over here talking to you guys about these, these mental disorders, which clearly you've put some time into studying and thinking about. So that's why I say you're an enigma. On the one hand, it's like all out, silly, stupid, juvenile, stuff. On the other hand, he's over here, Mr. Intellectual.
Right.
It's like a version of a Paul Mooney.
Oh yeah, a hood version of a Paul Mooney.
A hood version of a Paul Mooney.
I'll take that all day. Paul Mooney was and will always be incredible.
Yeah, no, I know that. I miss him. I actually miss him. Yeah. But anyway, my point is, how would you describe that? You're like, half intellectual, half cray. Like, what is that?
You know what I mean? It's just duality. I grew up in a house with Donna and Smitty. My mother is probably the most talented, book smart person God ever created. And my father is that, but on the other extreme level. He's a guy that was into the streets, and he went to the military, but he went to the military because he got caught selling Red Devils, and he was wanted for an attempted murder. And because they didn't have enough evidence to put him in prison, they gave him a choice: either go to jail or go to the military.
Wow.
So he went to the military, became this ultra disciplined ex-street dude, met my mother one day, and they had me. So I'm just a mixture of both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're taking the best of both,
Indeed,
and making it into a unique blend.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. A bunch of failure that figured it out.
Wait, are you an Aquarian?
February 4th, 1982.
An Aquarian. So that makes sense too. Like Sahara Ali, our resident astrologer, said, "Put your rebel hat on, Aquarians."
That's what it is. We're rebels. Yeah, I've been like that since I was a kid.
Bob Marley, Huey P. Newton, Frederick Douglass, Jim Brown.
Wow.
The list goes on. There's a lot of them, Aquarians. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think one of our mottos is, hey, man, when it's time to die, it's time to die. Let's roll.
When it's time to die, it's time to die.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Messy Monday. Like I said, you guys talk a lot of smack, and you said you're not talking about all women.
No.
I feel like there's a lot of conversation that happens on the internet. Some of it is the extreme, like the manosphere, which seems to create a war between black men and women. But there's other stuff kind of closer to what you guys do in the balloon pop show phenomena, right?
Indeed.
Which is a different conversation. It's but it's also full of its own sort of conventions.
Right.
So when I hear you talking about women with your friends, what am I supposed to take away from that as a woman thinking about relationships and dealing with men romantically?
I mean, I guess it all depends on you and what you've been through. Because no, really, because I've gotten to the point where I can separate myself from my ideas. So sometimes I say things that I don't agree with at all. But
Wait, sometimes you say things that you don't agree with at all.
Right, but I'm a provocateur, so...
Even of yourself.
Indeed. So what I'm supposed to do is whatever's supposed to be said, I have to say the opposite, and I have to justify it with facts. That's why they call me Kraig Facts as well, because it's my job to make you realize that you only know what you know. And regardless of what I say, because I'm only a human being and we've been in existence for millions of years, anything I say out of my mouth has either happened, is going to happen, or, you know, it's either happened or it's going to happen. Nothing new under the sun. So, you know, I'm responsible to say those things that have a message more than just saying things that you agree with, because there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages.
You have the same birthday as Molly Bell. Happy belated birthday, Kraig.
Thank you. And to Molly as well.
Yeah. We're still celebrating her. So, and Rosa Parks, too. You, Molly Bell, Rosa Parks, all have the same B-Day.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of rebels. So then, as a celebrity, as you're a comedian, you're known, very well known in this country. Does that change the dating calculation?
It does. It's a weird space to be in my space, because I'm a C-level celebrity, I guess. I mean, but I am to the point where, you know, I go places and most of the time people know who I am before I even know what their name is. So that definitely changes.
Then do they try to act like they don't?
Yeah, they try to act like they don't.
I never heard of you, but
right.
Sign my album.
Right. Or if you get into a relationship with, you know, some of these types of people, then they try to say, well, you're not as big as you think you are. You're not. They always try to make it seem like you're lower, you know, than whatever they think you are. So you get a lot of people.
They want to put you in your place.
People want to build you up and chop you down so they can control you in some aspect.
Whew, yeah, I'm familiar. So how do you navigate that? I was talking with my girlfriends, and now you see celebrities on dating apps.
Yeah.
And that seems like it would be strange.
It would be. I think Obama's on one of these days.
You know what?
I mean, Michelle wasn't at the. Where was Michelle at the inauguration? She wasn't there, but
she didn't want to sit next to Trump.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean,
and then she didn't come to the inauguration, and she didn't come to Carter's funeral. It was basically, I'm not finna go sit next to the orange man.
See, I have a problem with that.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah. I mean,
why do you have a problem with it?
Because I'm pretty sure that those white women sitting next to those white ex-presidents had a problem with sitting next to a black ex-president named Obama, but they still showed up.
Yeah, well, they're very tightly controlled, those women.
Indeed. I mean,
And also, I think you're kind of both sidesing it. So we digress a little bit, but the fact of the matter is, they might not have wanted to sit next to a black president, but the black president wasn't bringing fascism to the country and removing opportunities and rights from women and black people. So she may have seen it as more of an existential moment, right, as opposed to just, I don't want to sit next to an N-word.
Right.
I don't think it's quite the same.
Well, I think existentialism is very important. Personal creative choices and things are, a part of the thing that, kind of creates legacy for an individual. But, a lot of times you got to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And Michelle Obama is definitely a pillar in our community, very smart. She's somebody to be respected. But in this situation, she's the small fry. And so sometimes as a small fry, you have to just be a compliment to the bigger portion of the meal.
Oh, I mean, Jerry Anderson in the chat agrees with you. She says Michelle Obama not going was a missed opportunity. But I don't agree. I feel like for the 92%, the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala Harris and against Donald Trump, right, we feel like we've done our job. This is what y'all decided to do. We're done.
Right.
We're going to take care of us right now and our kids. We're not, don't look for me.
I agree.
Yeah. I feel like for us, for the big picture, yes, she's a small fry. But for black women who are feeling away, she's the biggest of the big fries.
I mean, I agree. I don't mean small fry like she's not important, because she's somebody I revere and respect. But that goes back to one of the things is being a part of something, bigger than self. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's not over.
No, it's not.
It's not over.
No.
But I feel she needed to be there for sure. Was it a mistake? No, it's not a mistake. I mean, whatever she's fighting for, I support it. But I just think for Obama's sake, forget all the other black women in the world. She has to be loyal to Obama first.
Well, she's something bigger than. He probably didn't want to be there either. He was probably like, you know what, baby, just stay home. We good.
What if a fight would have broke out? Who was going to knock out Barbara Bush? That's supposed to be. He can't. I mean, anything could have happened. They could have jumped Obama there.
That's true. But I think he would have stayed home too if he could have. And I feel like she was standing for something bigger than herself, which is black women.
I think she was a better presidential candidate than Kamala Harris.
Yeah, well, she didn't want to run.
But that would have been our best case scenario. Though Kamala is done some great things, I think her track record as a prosecutor is not something that all black men could jump on board with.
Yeah, I'd like to go over that point by point with you sometime, because right now, there's a lot of things that went around the internet that weren't actually true.
Okay.
And Super Busy here in the chat says, you're echoing, I'm going to read it. He says he's echoing some of the talking points from the manosphere. He should tread lightly. Interesting. We'll continue this conversation. It's a messy Monday. We get messier and messier as we go along. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Fatherhood includes being present during pregnancy, delivery, and beyond, supporting your partner and advocating for your baby's health. Black fathers play a key role in reducing maternal and infant health inequalities. Join the free AIM Fatherhood Program and make a difference. Visit blackinfantsandfamilies.org/fatherhood.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like stress.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Okay, we only have 10 minutes left. I don't want to suck it all up, but they're talking to me in the chat. So Kamala Harris, she was nailed for being a prosecutor, doing what prosecutors do, which is prosecute. It's not true that she jailed a disproportionate number of black men. That was a talking point. It is not true that she did that. She actually, I wouldn't call her progressive, but she put in place some programs that we would now consider progressive, in which she never gets credit for. Alternatives to incarceration. She was a big proponent of that. And she has been a proponent for black men and women her whole career, although she is a prosecutor, so clearly she did arrest some people. I mean, that's her job. It goes with the name. I don't want to go all down that path, but I just one of the things that destroyed her and continues to destroy other people seeking to push back on this administration is that there are really effective things that go around on social media about them. And many times they're not factually based.
Indeed. I mean, sometimes it's really hard to navigate what's real and what's not.
Yeah. Increasingly. I mean, this AI now got videos of everybody doing and saying crazy things.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to go to the comments to see if it's AI or not. Did this really happen? You have a show Sunday this weekend.
This Sunday.
How can we be down?
7 p.m. at the Ice House in Pasadena. I'll be hosting a roast. There'll be a lot of your favorite comedians. We will be killing each other on stage roasting. It's a comedian by the name of Boo Capone's birthday. We'll be roasting him for his birthday, which would be a great thing. He's a local living legend and comedian. I mean, in L.A., and he's a comedian, and he'll be the subject of the roast.
And do you ever get your feelings hurt with that roasting?
No,
I think I might be too sensitive for that.
I mean, I enjoy the art form, so when somebody roasts me, it gives me an opportunity to hear how they think.
Is it? Do you think it's like a rap battle?
No, it's a little different. Rap battles are a little more surfacey as far as like they don't really require as much creativity. Even though it's very creative, it comes from a different space. Like a rap battle is more like a dunk contest,
Yeah, well, okay. I'm going to leave it there because we can definitely do a whole show about that.
Oh,
and we got lawsuits flying over rap battles right now.
Oh, do we?
Oh, yeah. Drake is suing Kendrick and the record label and all that. Yeah, so I think it's next level. Yeah, But Barbara's agreeing with you about Michelle Obama, saying that's what Republicans saying. Per their research, the only person they had to worry about was Michelle Obama. But she doesn't want the job.
Right.
And if anyone's lived through the downside of being a black person in the White House, it's her. She had to raise 2 girls, which I don't know how you do that. But they're saying she's getting ready. Somebody said she's getting ready to run in 2028. I doubt it. In any case, so being a celebrity, dating. Do you remember way back when you weren't a celebrity?
Of course.
Was it different? Do you remember it being different?
I remember it being different. So anything that you do in life where you want to, be in front of people or you want to help people, you get to a point where your reputation beats you places.
Right. Whether you're famous or not.
Whether you're famous or not. So before that, I would say that's the point where you kind of try to find your voice. So a lot of people who are really talented, they never really find their voice because they don't really enjoy the journey. So a part of enjoying the journey is embracing everything that comes with it. The people not knowing who you are, the failures, the failed relationships, the struggling to pay your rent, the being behind on your car note. All those things contribute to your voice and are reasons why people should listen to you, because you were able to overcome those things and establish yourself in whatever it is you want to do. So yeah, I definitely remember that daily. I'm reminded.
Yeah. Well, I'm bringing it up because it's Messy Monday, and so far we've only gotten one rule out of you.
Okay.
Which is, accountability. Yeah. If someone's not accountable, there's no second date.
Indeed. Yeah.
And I wonder, because you were saying people will try to cut you down to size and say, you're not as famous as you think you are, or whatever, and wondering what's the I'm not famous version of that?
What's my
the I'm not famous version of it for a woman is you're not all that.
Yeah, here's one. Well, women that always talk about they want to lose weight, I support that, but your eating habits have to match it. You know what I mean? Some people want to lose weight and they think all they got to do is wear all black to look thinner.
Yeah.
No. You got.
It's not working.
No, you got to change your eating habits. When you cool your soup down, and blow more meat into it,
you know what? That you're wrong for that.
Hey, you know what I mean? It's just people whose habits don't match what they want in life.
That's a no for you.
That's a no.
Yeah. If I say that I'm really trying to lose weight while eating 3 pieces of
when you finish
pie.
Your chicken, if you eat the bones,
no bones left. The walk has to match the talk.
Indeed,
yeah.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
What about industry climbers?
You mean like people trying to use you to get up?
Yeah.
See, that's a tough one because sometimes people try to offer you things that you don't need. Do you know what I mean?
Kind of.
Yeah, like you ever have somebody around you and they just say, "Hey, I can clean this clock off for you," or you need somebody to park your car? Like, no, I don't need none of that. What are you bringing to the table that's bigger than you?
Mm-hmm.
That is, because sometimes people come to you for what they need from you, but they don't offer you anything that can move anything forward.
Right. So, and that plays out in relationships as well, or would be future girlfriends.
Indeed. We have women who think that sex equals everything. They just offer you sex, or they try to they give you things and try to convince you need it. No, if you like me, you get to know me, and then you become a helpmate and offer me things that could move us forward, not things that are just beneficial for you as an individual.
Yeah.
So,
how do you get equally yoked if you're famous already? Do you have to date someone famous?
See, that's another thing, right? Because I'm known, but I'm not like famous. So I think being equally yoked, somebody has to submit at some point, and that's a thing that changes from situation to situation. But there may be a situation where she has to take the lead, or I have to take the lead. So it's having enough trust to understand that this is me taking the lead is not a reflection of me being bigger and better than you. This is just what's needed in this situation. So it's like having a diverse palette of understanding where okay, this is what's called for in this situation, and what got us through here may not be exactly what's going to get us through here. So be humble enough to understand that you be quiet here and you talk here. I be quiet here and you talk here.
Yeah. Well, that's give and take. That's playing to our strengths.
Indeed.
Kraig, it's been fun talking to you. I was intermittently messy. That was fun. Remind us how to follow you. They probably already do, but just in case.
Indeed. The Kraig Smith, TheeKraigsmith. You type in that everywhere and you'll find me. Also, the show is the 23rd at the Ice House. If you go to theicehouse.com, type in Roast to Host. Buy your tickets now before they sell out. Come watch us roast each other. Purchase those Chill Withers albums, Chill Withers, The Chill Never Withers, Chill Withers Cluster B. Watch Kraig Facts, which is streaming everywhere and is also on YouTube weekly. Go check out my sitcom I produce myself. It's called Big Head Kraig. And hey, remember this, if I owe you something, get it from God. God, God, God!
Kraig, thank you. The best of, not the best of, the Monday Tavis Smiley edition, which is on fire, is up next. I'm leaving you with the Jim Brown quote since his birthday. The decision-making process: eliminate the negative, establish the facts, and choose your best option. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Until tomorrow, be well, be messy. One love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. Severe storms have caused significant damage in Kentucky and the Southeast, resulting in at least 10 deaths. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear confirmed 9 fatalities due to extreme flooding. Additionally, 1 person in Georgia died from a falling tree in Atlanta. The Trump administration is firing over 400 employees at the Department of Homeland Security, mainly from FEMA, Cybersecurity, and Immigration Services as part of sweeping federal cuts and reforms. Secretary of State Marco Rubio urges the immediate release of all hostages held by Hamas despite a ceasefire deal outlining a gradual release. He is working closely with Israel and Hamas released 3 more hostages this weekend after threatening delays over alleged ceasefire violations. And the USDA has conditionally approved a bird flu vaccine for chickens by Zoetis. Millions of chickens have been culled to stop the spread, leading to a spike in egg prices. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
If you or someone you know is affected by the Los Angeles wildfires, you are not alone. No matter how sad, scared, or heartbroken you feel, Cal Hope is here for you and all those affected by the devastating wildfires. Find free, safe, and confidential mental health support.